So welcome to this month's session of Consciousness Engineering. So in this particular class, I'm bringing on a really special guest by the name of John Haricharan. And we're going to be discussing a system, a particular system that you can put in your life called the Power Pause. Now, it's a beautiful technique. And how I came to learn about John was a couple of weeks back. I was in New Orleans at an event. And it was an event for entrepreneurs called Underground. John was simply someone in the audience, but the host of the event, Yannick Silva, who's a well-known entrepreneur, noticed John in the audience and said, "That man, you have to listen to that man." And he pulled John up on stage and made John share the system with everyone there. These were entrepreneurs who were earning millions of dollars, yet this particular technique was so relevant to them. And honestly, it's relevant to everyone. So here's the big deal behind the Power Pause, and this is why it's been shared online, and it's made John friends with people like Deepak Chopra and many other experts in the industry. A lot of us learn about techniques such as goal setting, about creative visualization, about the idea that the thoughts that we have in our head create our reality. We all know that that is true to some degree. And we know that we can use this tool when we're going through some form of disruption or pain in our life to create a healthier reality, to move towards what it is that we want. But the problem is, what about those situations where you don't know what you want? Now, John Haricharan says that all pain in life comes from three things: lack of money, lack of love, or lack of help. And if you really think about it, almost every really heart-wrenching, painful situation you've gone through in life is because something happened to your health, or you went through a bad breakup, or you were feeling lonely, or it's a shortage of money so that you can buy the life that you want. Now, in some of these situations, we know what it is that we want. Let's say, for example, you're going through a lack of money situation. You know there's a certain number in your head that you have to get to overcome this situation. But what about those instances where you do not know what you want? Take, for example, heartbreak. It's something we've all gone through. Let's say you parted ways with the love of your life. They dumped you or you dumped them. And in situations like that, you're going through intense pain, but you don't know what necessarily it is that you want. There are three options in a situation like that. You could go back to the person, you could find someone new, or you could just be single for a while. Because we don't know what we want and we fail to make that choice, we stay in that pain state. Now, the solution, according to John, is the Power Pause. Now, the Power Pause is a really simple technique, which is about moving you out of a pain state to an ideal situation when you do not know what that ideal situation would look like, when you don't know what it is you're meant to visualize or what goal you're meant to write down. The Power Pause is all about feeling your way into a solution. And in this one-on-one conversation with John, you're going to hear his story, how he grew up from Suriname, how he discovered these certain abilities that he had, how he developed the Power Pause, and you'll hear some really interesting studies and stories of how John and others have used the Power Pause to overcome crazy, horrible illnesses. John was blind at a certain point, and he used this technique to regain his eyesight. You learn about how people have used this technique to overcome situations of debt, to raise money for their business. You'll learn how people have used this to overcome heartbreak. And you'll learn how you can take this technique, and it only takes 3 minutes, and apply it in your life as a really powerful system to release you from pain or unpleasantness when you don't know what that solution will be. So let's get started with our call with John.